There is one snack that brings us all together, the mighty small chops. From classic flavors to a bold new twist, we are on a mission to bring you the tastiest small chops wraps out there. Join us on a journey to explore the tastiest, most satisfying small chops wraps out there, the art of wrapping up flavor and sharing it to the world. Hi guys, so today we're making small chops wrap, and from here we have corn flour, we have flour, and we have our sugar right here, okay, all measured out, and the measurements would be at the description box, so don't forget to check it out. We also have our flavor, yes, and we have water. So guys, with these 5 ingredients, let's make the tastiest and crunchiest small chops wraps that you would ever come across on the internet. In your bowl, you're going to combine your flour, you're going to combine your corn flour. Now tip number 1, if your small chop wrap always comes out soggy, soft, then you are omitting corn flour or you are using too little corn flour, okay? So make sure you use the right amount of corn flour. It enables your small chop wraps to come out very crunchy, and not just crunchy when hot but also when cold. So in that bowl, also combine your sugar and your flavor. And if you are already keen on following my videos, you will know the flavor that I always use. If not, go back to my cake videos and you would know the exact mix of flavors that I use. Alright guys, to that you're going to add your water, and you're going to do this bit by bit. You don't want to use excess water and you don't want to use too little water, so you add small at a time, you add bits at a time, and you mix in. Tip number 2, the consistency of your small chops sheet matters a lot, okay? It matters a lot. So you want to gauge your water properly, and you want to arrive at just the right consistency, because if you don't have the right consistency, your wraps would be soggy and it will not be crunchy. So if you want the perfect crunchy small chop wraps, you want to be very intentional about the consistency of your batter. You want it to be very light and runny, but you don't want it to be over running, okay? So the consistency matters a lot. The consistency really matters a lot. So in order to avoid having a consistency that you did not bargain for, add your water little by little until you get the consistency that you desire. Now tip number 3, ensure that you don't have lumps in your batter. You can see the lumps that I just showed you. Ensure that you break up all the lumps in your batter, because what this does is that when you spread on your pastry batter, your pastry wraps batter on your pan, and it has lumps, it's going to make your sheet to break, okay? And you don't want that. So you can see the batter that I'm showing you now. This is the consistency you want, but it still has a little bit lumps. So if your own has lumps like this, just allow it sit for a moment. The lumps would dissolve, okay? And so for making your small chops wrap, you need a non-stick pan, just like I am showing you. Non-stick pan, emphasis on non-stick pan. Now on the other hand, you want to get a board, a tray, or anything, any flat surface. Flour your surface, because you would be needing this so that when your pastry sheet is out from the heat from the pan, you would just place it on your flour surface. So that ensures that it will not stick to the surface, okay? So here is my batter. You can see that after sitting for a while, the lumps are no longer there. Now you want to place your pan on heat. Please use medium to low heat. Never make your pastry sheets on high heat. It's a recipe for disaster, okay? And tip number 5, I can't remember, but another tip that you should take home is that if you cannot use your hand for this, please by all means use a brush. Use a brush. especially if you're using the exact recipe and consistency that I have just given you in this video. It works both for your hand and for your brush. Okay, I'm using my hand here because my brush is not available at the moment, and secondly because I want to teach you that even if you don't have brush at the moment, you can use your hand to do this and it will still come out perfect. But if you are scared of the heat or you don't want it to burn you, by all means use a brush. Use a brush. So you can see how beautiful this wrap is. You can see how yummy, how nice. What is there not to love about this recipe? Come on. So this is Christmas. Ensure that you try this out for your family. They are going to love it. And so far, if you have any confusion or question in what I have just taught in this small chops wrap, drop it on the comment section. I would reply your comment and I would reply it detailed. Okay, so don't be scared to ask your question. Ask it in the comment section. I am always there to reply your comments. Okay, so make sure that your heat is low or medium. Low to medium. Low to medium. Never use a high heat for your pastry sheet, your small chopped wrap, whatever you choose to call it. So here I am going to show you how I use my board, which I prepared on the other side. Whenever I lay one sheet, I flour the surface of that sheet and then lay the next one right on top of it. And this is how I continue stacking it. Okay, so you can see what I'm just doing. Never you place your sheet on top of each other without flouring in between. That's a recipe for disaster and everything will end up sticking together, and you don't want that. Okay, so always ensure that you just follow the procedure that I have done, because there are reasons why I do what I do, and this is the exact recipe I use. This small chops I am making now is for a client. There is no magic here. There is nothing extra here. I am doing exactly what I use for my business. Okay, so this is how I do it, and it comes out always perfect, always crunchy, very yummy. And if you want to see the small chops that I made out of these wraps, stay tuned to this channel because I'll be dropping it next right after this video. Okay, so you don't want to miss any of this episode. This is Christmas and you want to key into these yummy recipes. You want to give your family a treat. You mustn't buy small chops outside. You can make it for your family following this easy step-by-step process that I am giving you in this video, so you can see how easy this sheet pulls out from this pan. Okay, you can see how easy it pulls out. Now I am going to show you what it looks like when you use high heat to make your small chops in less than no time. Okay, now this is to ensure that you understand what I am saying when I say use low to medium heat. Don't use high heat, use low to medium heat. So whenever you use low to medium heat, depending on how fast your gas cooks, you can, if it cooks very fast, you can use low heat, but if it cooks like in between, you can use medium heat, or you can switch it. You can keep switching low to medium as you work on your sheets, because that is what I kept doing. I kept switching from low to medium heat, but never use high heat. That is a recipe for disaster. It never comes out well. Okay, your sheets will dry out and it would get done actually before it's supposed to get done. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but I made a video on that still in this content. Okay, I am going to show you what it looks like when you use high heat to make your small chops wrap. Just use the best heat that I have recommended, and I will ensure you that your small chop sheet would always come out perfect, crunchy, very crunchy. And it is not going to be soft when it gets cold. No, it will remain crunchy if you follow these procedures and follow it well. Just look at this wrap. Now This is when I switch to high heat. Okay, you will see what happened here. You can see that the heat is actually faster than I am, and before I could go round the pan, the ones I have already placed were already getting done. And you can see from this, you can't call this a pastry sheet because it's now thick, so you don't want to use high heat. Always use low to medium heat for your wraps, and you're going to come back and thank me because this recipe comes out very, very crunchy. And always remember to use the right quantity of corn flour, and the description of all the ingredients that I have used, measurements and the quantity, everything will be on the description box. Do well to check it, and also stay tuned because I'll be dropping how to make the fillings of my samosa, how I make the fillings of my spring roll, and how I wrap my samosa and my spring roll. Very easy. It is very effective for beginners, and it is very, very effective for advanced small chops vendors. So if you are a beginner, this recipe is effective. If you are a pro and you still want to switch on to another recipe, try considering this recipe because it is going to make your work easy, very fast and effective. Okay, there is never too much to learn. Grab this opportunity, give it a trial, and don't forget to drop your comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about this recipe. I would be glad to hear from you. I would be glad to know what you think about this recipe. How do you make your own? What do you think you've learned from this recipe? Is this something you would like to try, or is this something you're going to swap by? I want to hear your feedback. And don't forget to like, comment and share this video. Someone out there might need this. Someone out there might just be praying to get this recipe. So don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe because this channel promises to be coming back with more mouth-watering recipes. And like I said, I would be dropping the samosas, the spring roll that I made out of these crunchy wraps, and you don't want to miss it. So make sure you hit and turn on your notification button so that whenever I drop that video, you would be the first to get notified. You would be the first to know, and you'll be the first to watch it and utilize it. This is Christmas, like I have said. Make sure that you grab onto the recipes that I will be dropping because it's a season of love and you want to share love. That is why I'm dropping recipes made from the utmost part of my heart, recipes made with so much love, recipes I dish with so much love. And I keep repeating this process so that you can see how I make it. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if this is what you wouldn't like to do with your bare hands because you don't want to get burnt, feel free to use a brush. Okay, feel free to use a brush to do this. You can always use a brush with this recipe. You can navigate between your hands and your brush for this exact recipe. If you have watched this video to this point, it means that you like what you just watched. Please show your support by liking this video, by sharing and by dropping your comment. And also for your own good, you would want to turn your notification button on because you want to get notified. And that's it, guys. These are the wraps that we made. You can see how neat this wrap is. You can see this wraps is not to blow my own trumpet, but this wrap is amazing. It doesn't dry out fast. I've heard some people say that they work almost immediately, like as they are bringing their wraps out from the fire, they are putting in their fillings so that it doesn't dry out. Not with this wrap. These wraps, I made them and I left them and then I made my fillings before I started filling them, and it was just on my counter just like that. It did not dry out at all. Try this recipe. See, I promise you this recipe is crunchy. It doesn't dry out fast. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.